My dad screamed, "You're just a burden." He said I cost them everything and gave nothing back. Then told me to move out since I was such a disappointment. So I packed my bags that night. 3 weeks later, Mom called in a panic. "Why's our internet down? And the phone? Why can't I log into anything?" I replied calmly, "Thought I was just a burden who gave nothing back." Holy crap, this story's wild. After 3 years of people urging me to share it, here we are. Buckle up, it's a long one and gets insane by the end. I'm 31, male, and used to think family meant loyalty and support. I was wrong. I was just the sucker funding their lifestyle while they treated me like trash. This is how I went from family cash cow to watching them scramble when I cut them off. Trust me, the ending's better than any revenge movie. Let's meet my lovely family. First, my older brother Tyler, 34, who peaked in high school. He still brags about his football glory days like they were yesterday. Works part-time at a sporting goods store. Spends his free time reliving when people cared about his touchdowns. Tyler shows up to family events in his old Letterman jacket. It barely fits him anymore. He's got a victim complex, blaming everyone for his failures. Couldn't even get a college scholarship. But somehow, it's not his fault he's 35 and broke. Then there's my sister Chloe, 26, who thinks she's an influencer. She's got 847 Instagram followers and calls herself an entrepreneur. Her business is buying cheap jewelry online and reselling it at crazy markups. Chloe posts motivational quotes about being a self-made woman. Lives rent-free in our parents' basement. She'll spend her last $200 on a knockoff purse for photos. Then eat ramen for 2 weeks. She's never held a job longer than 6 months. Thinks she's above normal work. My parents are no better. Dad's a middle manager at an insurance company. Thinks he's a financial genius from reading investment blogs. Always has a get-rich-quick scheme needing my money. Mom's a part-time real estate agent who hasn't sold a house in 2 years. Drives a leased BMW she can't afford for her professional image. And me, I was the weird kid who cared about school and planning ahead. While Tyler was partying and Chloe was learning makeup tutorials, I started a landscaping business at 16. I saved every penny. Landscaping isn't glamorous, but it taught me the value of hard work. Started with a beat-up truck and borrowed equipment. Mowed lawns, planted gardens, designed outdoor spaces. By high school graduation, I had a solid client base. Enough money to expand. While my classmates went into debt for useless degrees, I built a real business. Within 5 years, I had 3 crews working for me. Within 10, I was the go-to landscape architect for upscale neighborhoods. My company does everything from lawn care to million-dollar commercial projects. Last year, we pulled in over $800,000 in revenue. My personal take-home was more than my family's combined income. Enter my best friend, Ryan, who saved my sanity. We've been tight since middle school. He's a contract lawyer who sees through nonsense instantly. Ryan's smart, sharp, and has a dark sense of humor that kept me grounded. He was the first to point out my family only called when they needed money. "Dude, when's the last time they asked how you're doing?" I couldn't remember a single time. Ryan was my voice of reason, my secret weapon. "Don't go soft on these leeches," he'd say. "They made their choices, now let them face the consequences." He masterminded the most satisfying payback of my life. The money requests started small but got ridiculous. Tyler asked for help with his truck payment. His unexpected expenses were $2,000 at the casino with his unemployed buddies. Chloe needed business investments. Really, more cheap jewelry for her non-existent customers. She pitched it like a huge opportunity. "Mason, I'm scaling my brand, this could be big for us." Her friendship bracelet empire was not the next big thing. Dad wanted loans for emergency repairs he'd never repay. The roof, the HVAC, a Pinterest-inspired kitchen renovation. Each request came with guilt trips about family helping family. What did they do for me growing up? Made me feel weird for caring about grades. Forgot my birthday 3 years straight. Missed my graduation because Tyler was hungover. Real family of the year material. The requests escalated. Tyler's insurance, Chloe's car payments, Dad's boat loan, Mom's credit card bills. I was funding 3 households while working 60-hour weeks. They acted like I owed them this lifestyle. No gratitude, just expectation. They'd call with demands, not requests. "I need $1,500 by tomorrow. Can you cover my rent this month?" Never a "please" or "thank you." Just entitlement wrapped in family obligation. Ryan warned me, "You're enabling them. They'll never respect you as long as you keep writing checks." I didn't listen. I thought helping more would earn their respect. I was wrong. Last Christmas, everything started unraveling. I hosted at my 4,000 square foot custom home. Hired a catering company, had it professionally decorated, brought in a chef. The whole spread cost me nearly $6,000. I wanted to show my family I'd made something of myself. They showed up late, like they were doing me a favor. Tyler brought his new girlfriend, Jessica, a 22-year-old from a bar. She took selfies all night and asked about my income. So, like, are you rich or just comfortable? Chloe brought her boyfriend, an aspiring rapper wanting investment. They talked about her brand partnerships. 3 Instagram posts for $20 worth of free jewelry. The real slap was Tyler's speech. He stood up, raised his glass, and talked about family and togetherness. Not one word about who paid for the dinner. Not one nod to the weeks I spent planning. Just generic nonsense while they ate my prime rib. Ryan, the only non-family guest, was fuming. They treated you like hired help, he said after they left. When are you going to wake up? That night, I started seeing what Ryan had been saying for years. My family didn't love me. They loved what I could do for them. There's a difference, and it's huge. 3 months later, everything exploded. It was a Tuesday night in March, 9 p.m. I'd just finished a site visit for a $200,000 commercial project. Feeling good, thinking about takeout and paperwork. Then Dad called. He doesn't call unless someone's dead or he needs money. Mason, we need a serious conversation. This attitude of yours needs to stop. I was confused. What attitude? Don't play dumb, he snapped. Your mother's upset because of how you've been treating everyone. Tyler said you made him feel like garbage for asking for help. Tyler had asked for $3,000 after blowing his paycheck on truck accessories. I'd told him I'd pay his rent one last time but to budget like an adult. Apparently, that was judgmental. All you do is wave money around to feel superior, Dad said. You've never contributed anything meaningful to this family. You think cutting grass for rich people makes you better than us. If you had any self-respect, you'd disappear. The line went quiet. I was staring at a family Christmas photo. Something inside me broke, not anger, but clarity. You're right, Dad, I said. I should disappear. I hung up. I called Ryan immediately. It's happening, I said. The nuclear option. About time, he replied. I'll start drafting paperwork. This'll be better than a championship win. I spent 2 hours canceling every financial tie to my family. Bank, accountant, business manager, automatic payments, loans, all terminated. The ATM was out of order. Then I booked a one-way ticket to New Zealand. Left 3 days later without telling anyone. Ryan was my only contact, promising to document the chaos. This'll be the greatest family meltdown ever, he said. New Zealand was perfect. No guilt trips, no emergency calls, no entitled relatives. Just mountains, clear water, and peace. I rented a cabin in Queenstown for 6 weeks. Hiked, fished, learned to paraglide. Woke up without checking my phone for crisis messages. Ryan sent daily updates, each more entertaining than the last. Week 1, they didn't notice I was gone, too self-absorbed. Week 2, Chloe's car insurance lapsed, her car got impounded. Tyler's truck payment bounced, repo warnings started. Dad got a mortgage delinquency notice. Week 3, the panic calls began. Chloe called me 23 times in one day. I didn't answer. Ryan monitored the family group chat, sending me screenshots. Week 4, Tyler got evicted. Chloe sold her camera gear to buy groceries. Mom and Dad were 3 months behind on bills. The group chat was pure entertainment. Has anyone talked to Mason? Chloe wrote. My car got impounded, he's not responding. Tyler said, he's throwing a tantrum for attention. Mom said, he'll come to his senses soon. Dad stayed silent, pride's tough to swallow. By week 5, the tone shifted. Mom wrote, this isn't funny anymore. The bank called about foreclosure. Where is he? Tyler wrote, Mason, we need to talk, this has gone too far. Chloe begged, I'm about to lose my apartment, please call back. I'm sorry for whatever we did. Dad, still silent. Ryan was loving it. Your brother's on someone's couch, he reported. Your sister moved back with your parents. Your dad tried using your business credit for a loan. The bank laughed at him. They tried getting other family to bail them out. They claimed I'd had a breakdown and abandoned them. My cousin Amy shut that down. She told everyone how much I'd given them and how they treated me. The extended family wasn't sympathetic anymore. Tyler returned his gym membership, worked out at a rundown community center. The guy who posted hustle mentality selfies was doing push-ups in a broken facility. Chloe's influencer posts became hilarious. She preached manifesting abundance one day, asked for meal prep tips the next. Her engagement dropped to single digits. Nobody wants advice from someone taking the bus to McDonald's. Dad tried selling his vintage baseball card collection. He'd bragged it was worth $15,000. It sold for $300 at a garage sale, mostly worthless reprints. Mom started cutting her own hair, unable to afford her salon. Her professional image was now DIY disasters. I was living my best life in paradise. They were learning what consequences taste like. After 8 weeks, I flew back to the States. Went straight to Ryan's office to plan phase 2. Ready to see how deep they've dug themselves? Ryan asked, sliding over a folder. Tyler was fired from his job for missing shifts. Chloe's influencer career was dead, she sold all her equipment. Mom and Dad were 5 months behind on their mortgage. Foreclosure proceedings had started. Ryan had a bombshell. Remember the lake house you pay taxes and maintenance for? Your name's the only one on the deed. It's 100% yours. My grandfather left it to me because I cared about it. My family treated it like their vacation home. Tyler threw parties, Chloe used it for photo shoots. Once, I found empty cans, cigarette butts in the hot tub, initials carved in the dining table. I confronted Tyler, he shrugged. Relax, you don't live here full-time. They saw me as a caretaker, not the owner. Time for new management policies, Ryan said. We drove to the lake house, changed the locks, installed a security system. Put up private property, no trespassing signs. Listed it as a premium vacation rental, $4,500 a week in peak season. Ryan had more. Your name's on their mortgage as a co-signer. We can force a sale, you'd get the equity. They'd walk away with nothing. I stared at him. I can legally take their house. You're protecting an investment you've subsidized for years, he said. Ryan had documented everything, bank statements, texts, loans. A group text from 2 years ago was damning. Tyler wrote, Mason's such a pushover, watch this. Asked me for $1,200 for emergency car repairs. An hour later, told you it'd work, easiest money ever. Chloe replied with laughing emojis, teach me your ways, master. This is documented conspiracy to defraud, Ryan said. His final plan was genius. We'd give them one last chance to do the right thing. A contract acknowledging the $186,000 they owed me, with a payment plan. Miss one payment, I'd claim their assets, lake house, Dad's boat, Chloe's car. They're desperate, they'll sign anything, Ryan predicted. They'll mess up within a month. I called Tyler, he answered instantly. Mason, where've you been? We've been worried. Save it, I said. Be at Mom and Dad's tonight at 7 o'clock, everyone. Ryan and I arrived on time. The house looked rough, overgrown yard, peeling paint, repo notices on Dad's boat. They were waiting in the living room, looking desperate. Mom had aged a decade, Dad was pretending to be tough, Tyler was disheveled, Chloe was crying. Let's have an honest conversation, I said. Ryan set up his laptop, taking notes like a lawyer. They apologized, made excuses, promised things would be different. Dad claimed he never said I was a burden, just a misunderstanding. Ryan asked, Tyler, you spent Mason's rent money on truck accessories. Chloe, you used a business loan for a Florida vacation. They signed the contract without reading it closely. It gave me $186,000 in documented loans, 12 months to pay at $8,000 monthly. Miss one payment, I'd claim their assets. Thank you for another chance, Mom said, hugging me. Family is family, right? Absolutely, I replied. Ryan grinned, I bet they missed the first payment. They missed it by 2 weeks. The notification went out on a Wednesday. By Friday, I legally owned the lake house, Dad's boat, Chloe's car. Ryan filed the paperwork so fast their heads spun. It was Memorial Day weekend, prime lake season. The lake house was booked solid through Labor Day. Tyler's, guy's trip, became a weekend in his cramped apartment. The lake house made $4,500 a week. Dad's boat sold for $28,000 at auction. Chloe's car brought in $15,000 from a dealer. I was making money off their failure to keep their word. Tyler called, this is crazy, it was just one payment. You can't get $8,000, you're unemployed, I said. Chloe cried, you can't take my car, how do I get to work? Public transportation, like responsible adults, I replied. Dad said, this is theft, you can't steal our property. Read the contract you signed, I said. Mom broke down, we're your family, how can you do this? You gave me nothing, I said. I gave you everything, my money, time, respect. You threw it away, thinking I'd never stand up for myself. We're going to lose the house, she sobbed. You should have thought of that before calling me worthless. The foreclosure moved forward. They sold everything, furniture, electronics, Mom's jewelry, Dad's tools. They ended up in a cramped 2-bedroom apartment in a rough area. Tyler moved in with them, sleeping on a pull-out couch. His dating life died. No woman wants to date a guy asking mom for permission. Chloe took a call center job, answering angry customer calls in a windowless office. Her Instagram following dropped to under 200. Tyler worked a $12 an hour warehouse job, taking orders from younger supervisors. Dad took early retirement, his financial expert image shattered. Mom and Dad managed on his pension and her part-time income. I used their assets to expand my business. Bought new equipment, hired more crews, landed a multi-million-dollar contract. Put a down payment on a Colorado vacation home, bought outright. Ryan and I celebrated with a fishing trip to Alaska. First-class flights, luxury lodge, catching salmon, laughing at how perfectly it worked out. They did this to themselves, Ryan said. You gave them every chance to treat you with respect. They chose entitlement instead. 6 months later, Chloe texted, I understand what we put you through. I'm truly sorry. I screenshotted it, sent it to Ryan, and deleted it without replying. 2 weeks later, Tyler showed up at my office. He looked terrible, thin, tired, in a work uniform. Mason, I was wrong, he said. We treated you like garbage when you held our family together. I know you probably hate us, I get it. I just want my brother back. You treated me like garbage for years, I said. I gave you countless chances for basic respect. You chose not to, every time. There's no fixing this. We were never a family, just a financial arrangement that benefited everyone but me. He stood there, hoping I'd change my mind. I didn't. He left. I went back to work on a multi-million-dollar project. 3 years later, I'm writing this from my custom-built home office. 5 bedrooms, 3 acres, a workshop, all paid in cash. My business employs 47 people across 3 states. Last year's revenue hit $2.1 million, with 30% growth projected. I own that Colorado vacation home, skiing and hiking with people who appreciate me. Ryan's my business attorney, and we're expanding into property development. My family's stabilized somewhat, in that small apartment, paying their own bills. Tyler's a shift supervisor, Chloe's in social media marketing, not scams. Mom and Dad manage on downsized income. Do I feel bad? Not even a little. I gave them years of support and care. They called me worthless, a burden. Every decision I made was legal and justified. I collected debts they acknowledged. They signed contracts they should have read. Last month, I got engaged to an amazing woman. She runs her own graphic design business, independent, never asked for money. We're planning a small Colorado wedding with guests who care about us. My family wasn't invited. Family isn't genetics, it's mutual respect and support. To anyone in a similar situation, stop setting yourself on fire for ungrateful people. You don't owe anyone a lifestyle just because you share DNA. Set boundaries, protect your resources, demand respect. If they can't meet those, let them figure out their own problems. Life's better when you're your own priority. Thank you for watching. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. Hit the notification bell for more shocking real-life stories.